Child abuse via the abuse of men. In Australia, the statistics for different types of child abuse are as follows. Emotional abuse, 36%. Neglect, 31%. Physical abuse, 21%. And sexual abuse, 12%. In the gynocentric atmosphere of Australian society, male parents are not taken serious enough when they make complaints of child abuse from their partner directed at their children. There have been occasions where the Department of Community Services, otherwise known as DOCS, have been negligent and have helped give custody of the child or children to the abusing mother or foster care, resulting with children being abused further and even killed. Could it be that DOCS is biased against men due to the fact that the overwhelming majority of DOCS workers are female? Many male partners live with dysfunctional females, yet these males have empathy for their partner, believing that they are mentally ill or need mental health treatment. Many males also live with an abusive partner, whereas the male does not even know that he is trapped because of what is known as Stockholm Syndrome. The male, being the target of abuse, feels sorry for his abusing partner. The male has hopes and dreams for a functioning family unit, whereas the child or children grow up and are raised in a household where both parents live in the same home. But this male parent, the father, is blind to the fact that things are not getting better, they are only getting worse. The male parent has exhausted many avenues with regards to helping his children and his own situation, all to no avail. He has made contact with police, he has made contact with DOCS, he has made contact with the mother's family and friends, spoken to helplines, received counselling, but has been brushed off rudely by most of these people and or organisations. When police have watched a video or listened to an audio of the female parents in the act of her violently destroying the home and property with a crowbar and intimidating the child to the point where the child begins to cry out of fear, police have turned around and remarked, stating words to the effect of, "She was pretty fired up, wasn't she?" I can only imagine what would happen if a female parent was to explain all this to the police with or without a recording. The police would be in pursuit of the male culprit, effective immediately. DOCS have also brushed off evidence of worse events that have occurred to children. They haven't even bothered to hear or listen to the evidence, giving the person that is carrying the evidence looks as though he is weird and not normal. Sometimes even throwing in rude remarks of, "Did the mother know that you were recording?" Well, of course not. Of course she didn't know. I wasn't there. And if she knew that I was there or that I was recording, would the mother abuse the children in such a way? It is irrespective whether the mother knew I was recording or not recording. The more important matter at hand here is child abuse. The probable value of the evidence outweighs the undesirability of using the evidence. You have children here, yet you desire not to investigate matters further because of the most pathetic excuses that you can come up with. How valuable are children to you? If the value of children to you is based on the fact that you do not follow through with thorough protocols that are vital to keep the child's safety as the utmost priority and ignore the father's plea, then you are negligent and, in my opinion, criminal. However, if you ignore the father's plea when he retains evidence of child abuse and is asking for help or assistance and he does not get it, yet you assist the mother because of verbal false allegations that the mother has made, then you are not only negligent and criminal, but you are colluding and conspiring not only against fathers but also against children. Under the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child in child-friendly language, children's rights are being abused in Australia. This child abuse is occurring because critical organisations such as the police and DOCS are ignoring the plea of the father, which is then in turn constituting further abuse towards the child or children. What may shock most is the fact that the Australian government has critical information regarding child abuse through the Australian Bureau of Statistics and has other sources such as the British Retrospective Prevalence Studies. The problem with the Australian Bureau of Statistics Studies 2005 is the fact that mothers and stepmothers, fathers and stepfathers have all been mixed into the equations, which do not give a clear indication on child abuse perpetrated by the biological parent. However, the British study by MGTOW and Corson 2005 has found that mothers were more likely than fathers to be responsible for physical abuse towards children than fathers. The reason for bringing up this point is to ask a basic yet very important question. If mothers are the majority of child abusers, then why do the mothers nearly always win custody over the children in family court? When one begins to ask these types of questions, it becomes clear that it is a gynocentric world indeed. I'll throw another one at you, one that most don't even notice. Domestic violence is perpetrated by the female 49% of the time and by the male 51% of the time. However, divorces are initiated by women 80% of the time. All one needs to pay attention to here is the math. Now I'll say it again. Domestic violence is perpetrated or perpetuated by the female 49% of the time and by the male 51% of the time. However, divorces are initiated by women 80% of the time. There is something terribly wrong indeed. I will read out 3 articles from the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. Article 4 reads, "The government has a responsibility to make sure your rights are protected. They must help your family to protect your rights and create an environment where you can grow and reach your full potential." Article 9 reads, "You have the right to live with your parents/parents unless it is bad for you. You have the right to live with a family that cares for you." Article 12 reads, "You have the right to give your opinion and for adults to take it seriously." Now, when a father has incriminating evidence and has initiated contact with the police or the Department of Community Services and is either laughed at or not taken seriously with the intent that the father protect his child or children from any abuser, then the police and docs are allowing further child abuse to perpetuate. After many attempts of trying to receive assistance from these departments, the mother then just goes to the police station just once. During that time, she cries abuse. The police make a statement and place an interim apprehended domestic violence order against the father of the children effective immediately, without even interviewing the father. Most mothers also place the child or children's names on the order so that the father does not approach the child or children by force, even though it is against the father and the children's wishes. This only amplifies the child abuse and abuse against the father furthermore. There is now nobody to monitor what is happening to the child. The father is very afraid for the lives of his children because of what he has seen his partner do to his children. Where is the child's opinion now? Where is the father's opinion now? You will be asked about why you didn't do anything in the past to keep the mother away from the child or children, or why you didn't contact the police. You will explain that you did contact police and that police ignored you and that docs did not assist you. It becomes a vicious circle of explaining. As a father, MGTOW offers many solutions. One of them is that for one, going his own way does not necessitate that he will be leaving his children behind in the darkness, but rather he will fight for his children's rights, his own rights, and will do so his own way. Not in a violent way, but rather in a smart, logical, rational way that will allow his child or children to grow up in a healthy environment and grow up with their own self-identity. Government organizations have only proven to be a failure for males and children. Therefore, one must grasp any information that is available on his own. One must look into different avenues when it comes to issues such as court and become a pro se litigant. Can one really breathe your own case better than yourself? Will one fight for your children or child better than yourself? As a MGTOW, a father can see manipulative females and even manipulative misandric males that work against men and his children. This can help a father with regards to if he is speaking to the right or wrong person. MGTOW men have ripped off the matrix cables that were once plugged into them, thereby allowing them to have a clearer vision.